Hi, welcome to TNT, a brand new week and great to have you with us. Well, last night it was a case of Miss Universe Thailand, the beauties, and tomorrow it will be a return of the beast, Thaksin Shinawatra, scheduled to return on the same day that a joint sitting of Parliament will try and nominate and select and even vote for a new Prime Minister here in Thailand. So a crazy couple of days ahead. But indeed, the theme of today's show, beauties and the beast. So the two things Thais are mostly talking about this morning is Miss Universe Thailand and the return of Thaksin Shinawatra. And of course that ties in with tomorrow's joint sitting of Parliament and the next vote for Prime Minister. Are they all linked up somehow? Anyway, beauties and the beast. That's the theme of today's program. Let's start with, I suppose, a beast. The nation, Thailand, reports that BMA launches probe into disturbing statue at a Bangkok hotel. Wait until you see it. Bangkok Governor Chadchat on Friday ordered an investigation into a mystical statue in front of the Night Bazaar Hotel that's in Hua Quang, following complaints it may be the site of animal sacrifices and other offences to Buddhism. And the 4-metre-tall statue may violate city height regulations. That's the way to get it on a technicality. The hotel erected the statue of the mythical Pheu Thai cow, which resembles a winged gargoyle with fangs and crimson talons. Obviously, we're not talking about Miss Universe Thailand at the moment, but it made headlines in Thai media because it baffled motorists and passers-by on Ratchadapisek Road. Multiple online groups and communities formed to discuss their devotion to Pheu Thai cow, a mythical figure rumoured to be a teacher of a former king of the Khmer Empire, but regarded by some as a god of wealth. But the Council of Artists Supporting Buddhism of Thailand, they've submitted a complaint urging the BMA to have the statue removed. They allege that a plan was underway to hold uncommon rituals at the statue, including animal sacrifices, and urged the city to step in to prevent the animal sacrifices and other rituals. So Chadchat said district officials will canvass local residents about the statue and the BMA will investigate all complaints thoroughly. Well, the usual politician's response, we'll look into it. Here's the actual statue, 4 metres tall. And you'd sort of be wondering to yourself what they can do to actually insist that it's removed, apart from exceeding a height level, which, as I said, would be a technicality. Otherwise, what are going to be their excuses when they're sitting down around the table? So that statue making a lot of space in Thai social media over the past couple of weeks. Moving on to this story from Thai PBS World, Bangkok to Nong Khai high-speed train expected to enter service in 2027. Well, this is the much-discussed high-speed train that would be going from Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima initially, and then the second section from Nakhon Ratchasima up to the Lao border in Nong Khai, linking to the Lao train to China. And construction of the Thai-Chinese high-speed train between Bangkok and northeastern border province of Nong Khai is progressing satisfactorily, with the construction of the 250.77 kilometre section between Bangkok and Nakhon Ratchasima province already about 40% complete. And for the second section between Nakhon Ratchasima and Nong Khai, the State Railways of Thailand has recently completed the study and design of the project, and it's ready to be submitted to the Cabinet for approval. So it sounds like it's a long, long way from being completed. They haven't even got the plans approved. The Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima section comprises nearly 182 kilometres of elevated rail, 64 kilometres of ground level track, and 6.4 kilometre tunnel. And there'll be 6 stations at Bang Su, that's the Apiwat station in Bangkok, Don Mueang, Ayutthaya, Saraburi, Patong and Nakhon Ratchasima. The cost of the section is estimated around 180 billion baht. The construction's encountered several problems. You can read about them there if you wish, but most of them just relating to the normal things that you would expect with a project like that. At the end of the story, it says it's expected to be ready for public service in 2027. Well, the headline, just checking that, it says Bangkok to Nong Khai high-speed train expected to enter service in 2027. Looks like it's only going to be the Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima section that will be ready at that time. The next section, all the way up to the Lao border, I think will be another 2 or 3 years. That's even if they can get it signed off by Cabinet when they get to sit down in the next few months. That story from Thai PBS World. Now, thanks to all those people that joined in on our Saturday morning program, a bit earlier than usual. We did it at 7 a.m. So thank you to you and your great support. We didn't have a grumpy old men yesterday. I had let me tell you, a well-deserved day off, but Stephen and I are looking forward to getting together again for next week, Grumpy Old Men. And a big thanks to our sponsor, 5 Star Marine. Been great to have you along for the program for the past year. Sean and his team ready and waiting to take you out onto Phang Nga Bay. Be a very nice day today. Going to be about 30 degrees, 15 knots of wind from the west. Looks like a perfect day to me, and they've got a bespoke VIP service. There's a link in the description right under this video. We'll check out the return of Thaksin and those beauties from the Miss Universe in just a moment. But firstly, heading to Phuket and Bangla Road. The story from thePhuket Officials inspect cannabis shops on Bangla Road in Patong after viral video. Relevant officials inspected cannabis shops on Bangla Road in Patong to check for licenses and rule infringements after a video clip of foreigners using a machine to blow cannabis smoke across the street went viral on social media. This happened on Friday night when officials descended on Bangla Road. Cannabis shops on Bangla Road had their licenses checked and were reminded that smoking in shops is against the rules. The president of the Patong Entertainment Business Association told Phuket Express that the foreigners in the video clip were making content promoting a new but unidentified cannabis shop near Phuket International Airport in Talang, which had just opened. Police have already contacted them to come to the police station to be charged with various legal charges. It says they're the Move Forward candidate. The Move Forward candidates won all 3 positions, so he's a Move Forward MP. Told Phuket Express, officials are trying to manage proper usage of cannabis, especially when it comes to owners and dealers who are foreigners. And TPN Media, that's the Pattaya News, who owns the Phuket Express, notes that legally smoking in public or in shops, even cannabis shops, is against current rules and regulations. Technically, cannabis use is also restricted only to medical use and should require a licensed doctor to supervise any use. The rules, however, are fairly loose as cannabis is only decriminalised and not fully legal as politicians continue to debate over the law. But while we're in this sort of twilight zone between actually getting a Cannabis Act and this original decriminalisation last year during June, these shops are flourishing and, of course, entrepreneurs taking advantage of the situation. But that story from Phuket Express. Here's a photo there of this gentleman obviously throwing something into the top of that dispenser, and it's shooting out smoke into Bangla Road. So not sure if the passers-by would be enjoying that, but it certainly got the attention of the police, and they will be looking into it. And going to this story and up to Phang Nga, north of Phuket, human skeletons found on beach in Phang Nga, and human skeletons were found on a beach in the Takua Pa district, and that's around about half an hour north of the Saracen Bridge at the top of Phuket. It says police and rescue workers arrived at the beach to find the human skeletons. There were no lower legs or arms on the skeletons. Other skeleton parts left were connected. The skeletons were taken to a hospital for identification and an examination as to how old they were and the cause of death. So, could be a fisherman falling off a boat, could be somebody trying to go for a swim. Pretty wild along the west coast this time of the year, but at least we might find out more once they've done the autopsy on those skeletons. And to some happier news now, we go to Calsot English's Facebook page. And Antonia Porside, 27-year-old Thai-Danish model from Nakhon Ratchasima, is crowned Miss Universe Thailand 2023. And that happened last night at the Mall Life Store in Nang Muang Wan. The first runner-up is Jazzy Karana Jasmine Shooter from Mae Hong Son Province, and the second runner-up is Veena Pavina Singtakwai from Phuket. And then I don't know why they even bothered with this next section. The new Miss Universe from Thailand has a bachelor's degree in international studies from Stanford International University's Department of Marketing and Public Relations. Well, congratulations on getting your degrees, but I can promise you, dear, that people weren't looking at your degree when they were deciding whether you should win the competition. She was one of the last 10 people on the list for Season 1 of The Face in Thailand back in 2014. She was also crowned the 2019 Ms. Supranational. And there she is, Antonia, with her crown, obviously looking very happy and showing all that money she's spent on dental work. And thanks, everybody. I really appreciate the support. And there is, I suppose, last year's winner giving her the crown. And then we've got the last 5 finalists, assuming that there's been some investment made in cosmetic surgery by some of them. There we are, the moment that she was crowned, the 2 ladies either side saying, "I'm so happy for you." But anyway, there we go. They're the beauties, and of course the Thais love a good beauty contest. I think they're somewhat outdated, but giving some people some pleasure. But now to the beast, and we go to Thai PBS World, and Thaksin confirms he will return to Thailand on August the 22nd. Well, that's tomorrow, and of course it's the same day we've got the next joint sitting of the Thai Parliament to decide on the next Prime Minister. So we know he's been in Singapore during the past week, and members of his family have gone to meet him in preparation for his return, or not. No more postponements, Thaksin said, and he's scheduled to arrive at the Don Mueang Airport in his private jet at 9 a.m. He insisted that his return to Thailand was planned before the House Speaker announced the Prime Minister's selection joint sitting of Parliament on the 22nd. Meanwhile, the Deputy Prime Minister, Wisanu Kriyanam, who's also Acting Justice Minister, says he's not yet been officially informed by his ministry about Thaksin's return, adding, however, that the police may know about it. Now, Wisanu Kriyanam would be slightly conflicted over all this because he once served as a minister in Thaksin's government back in 2000. But at the end of the day, I suppose he's got a job to do, and they say they're going to pick him up at the airport, and, well, let's see what it says. Wisanu explained that Thaksin will be treated like an ordinary suspect. No, he won't. Upon his return to Thailand, he'll be escorted to the Supreme Court's Criminal Division for Political Office Holders to be issued with the imprisonment warrant and then be escorted by Corrections Department officials to the Klong Prem prison. So if Thaksin actually turns up and if he's actually escorted to prison, you can be assured it's a highly choreographed event, more to appease Thaksin's opponents and to provide some fodder for the paparazzi. I'm pretty sure he'll be very, very well treated if indeed he is escorted to prison. Now, Thaksin may or may not turn up. Another person who is being asked to turn up tomorrow is the appointed Prime Ministerial candidate, Srettha Thavisin, to the joint sitting in Parliament. Now, he's not an MP. He's one of these outside nominees, so he wouldn't normally be in Parliament. But the Senator saying, well, I think you should turn up if we're going to be appointing you as the Prime Minister. We've got a few questions. And the BangkokPost.com saying Srettha urged to show up. And senators now expect the Pheu Thai party's prime ministerial candidate, Srettha Thavisin, to respond in Parliament to questions about his ethical standards following various accusations made against him. They want to hear from him before they decide whether to support him in tomorrow's prime ministerial vote. And Pheu Thai needs about 60 votes from the 249-member Senate for its prime ministerial candidate to win the parliamentary vote and become Thailand's next prime minister. Well, those 60 extra votes could come from either the senators or other MPs in that joint sitting tomorrow. And in the case the candidate nominated for Tuesday's vote fails to muster enough support from the Senate, that candidate cannot be re-nominated, in line with the precedent set on July the 19th when the nomination of Move Forward Party leader Peter Limjaroenrat for a second vote was rejected. So they may have painted themselves in somewhat of a corner with that particular rejection. Let's see what Bangkok Post is also saying about Pheu Thai unveiling its final coalition lineup. The Pheu Thai party is expected to announce the final lineup of parties in its new coalition government today, and according to a source, will definitely include the Palang Pracharat Party. The deal is that each coalition member will be awarded one cabinet position per 9 MPs it has in hand. And the Prime Ministerial candidate whom Pheu Thai will nominate on Tuesday for the parliamentary vote will still be Srettha Thavisin, and Pheu Thai has already mustered more than enough support for him, said the source. Well, that's the general idea. I suppose if it was a horse race, Srettha Thavisin would be the favourite, but somebody could come in from the back of the track to take over at the winning post. We really don't know, so we're going to have half the media at the Don Mueang Airport, the other half at Parliament. It's going to be a very, very busy news day indeed. And just before we go today, I know I mentioned this the other day, but it's really a bit of a, not a coup, that's a word you shouldn't use too often here in Thailand, but it's great when we do get some great Western theatre coming to Thailand. As I mentioned, the last time I went to see like a Western show was Phantom of the Opera, at least 10 years ago in Bangkok. But happy to report, and Coconuts Bangkok discussing it here, the Broadway classic West Side Story coming to Bangkok in October. I'm not being paid for this. I think it's just great when these big shows do come to town, and it's an opportunity for those who enjoy good Western theatre to get out and support them. There's a screenshot there from this new production of West Side Story. Steven Spielberg remaking West Side Story a couple of years ago, and I think that's led to the popularity of relaunching the stage show, and it's great that it's coming to Bangkok. And the story says Bangkok's got it all, but theatre on this scale is a rare treat. Bangkok's 25th International Festival of Dance and Music will be bringing West Side Story to Bangkok from October the 5th to the 8th for 6 shows. And this play will include the original choreography from legendary dancer and director Jerome Robbins. And it was certainly the choreography and the music from Leonard Bernstein that set this show aside and made it stand out back in 1961, loosely based around the story of Romeo and Juliet. Back in the public imagination, thanks to Steven Spielberg's adaptation in 2021, this performance is being held in recognition of the 90th anniversary of Thai-US relations. And Bangkok's 25th International Festival of Dance and Music will take place over 8 weeks, starting on September the 2nd. It's going to be held at the Thailand Cultural Centre, and it will include Dream of the Red Chamber, based on China's great classic Chinese novel, and a night of Beethoven from the Lucerne Symphony Orchestra, and a performance of Swan Lake by Les Ballets de Monte Carlo. Clearly my French accent only slightly worse than my Thai accent. But with that, thank you very much for dropping in. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening in Thailand. Obviously tomorrow is going to be one of those big news days, and so we'll follow it with interest, and if anything big happens tomorrow, we'll interrupt proceedings during the day and do some sort of live feed. But it will be interesting from a news point of view. And of course we'll bring you up to date on the Wednesday program. But thanks for dropping in. Please subscribe to the channel if you get an opportunity, and we'll see you tomorrow.